What's up guys, Rogue9 here. Battlefield 1 is nearing its first birthday, and today I want to discuss the top 10 noob mistakes that I still see teammates making in this game. They are roughly ordered from least to most frustrating, and with that, let's jump straight in at number 10. Number 10. Shooting random crap as a vehicle gunner. In almost every game you play in a vehicle, whether you're flying a plane or driving a tank, it won't be long before that special type of teammate spawns in your vehicle, and the very first thing they seem compelled to do is to practice their aim by firing their gun at random objects within their line of sight. Wooden barrels, doors, windows, boxes, other vehicles or infantry on your team, everything becomes a valid target and needs to be instantly hosed down in a constant stream of machine gun or cannon fire. If you're in a plane, it will sooner or later happen that you're in a desperate dogfight with an enemy fighter, and when you go into the third-person view, you will see your gunner happily spraying away at infantry on the ground, landing exactly 0 hits while the enemy fighter lines up for a beautiful barrage of air-to-air rockets straight up your backside. So to all of those players, please stop. If you're a gunner in a plane, your priority targets should always be enemy planes over infantry. If you're manning a cannon in a land ship, your focus should be enemy vehicles, not that medic on a hill 300 meters away. Firing machine guns incessantly at nothing can distract the driver by making him believe that there is a genuine threat nearby, and it can give away the position of your vehicle. And if you're one of those clever people who thinks that shooting your own infantry does no harm, think again. You might be giving away their position to a hidden sniper or an incoming squad of enemies, and at the very least you are again distracting them. Don't be that guy. Number 9. Misusing or abusing your team's transport. There are a number of different behaviours in this category, and one of the most annoying is easily when a teammate gets into the one and only car at the beginning of the round and then decides that the best use for it is to drive 30 meters to point A and wait there. Similar to this is the scenario where the driver of a torpedo boat or landing craft with a full crew on board will decide that he wants to get out and cap the first flag he comes to, and rather than just get out and leave the boat for someone else to actually do something useful with, he thinks it's necessary to run the boat as high up the beach as possible, and now we're all stuck. Thank you very much. An admittedly less common occurrence, but probably one of the dumbest things I have seen in this game ever, happened to me while playing Suez recently. I was one of the first to spawn and was sprinting to the armoured car to make sure that we use it to head straight to sea, and just before I was able to get in, that intellectually challenged person, who spawned as a heavy tank driver on our team, decided that the best thing for him to do would be to shoot our own transport vehicle before he drove to A and just sat there. So don't be that guy. Don't destroy your team's boats or cars just for the hell of it, and don't waste a transport at the beginning of the round by driving all of 20 meters to the first capture point and then staying there. Number 8. Being a silly pilot. Spawning into a random plane on your team has always been a risky move in Battlefield 1, but there are a few things that you still see pilots doing nowadays that just shouldn't be a thing anymore. For instance, almost every time I spawn in on a friendly bomber, I find the guy flying 5 meters off the ground as slowly as possible, and within 30 seconds we end up getting one-shot sniped by the nearest enemy tank. Bombers have bombing sights for a reason, and unless you want to make yourself the easiest target in the match, you need to be flying at least at medium altitude. Even worse than this, but only by a little bit, are bomber and attack plane pilots that will abandon a near full health plane for no reason and leave their loyal crew to crash and die. Or the guys who still seem to labor under the illusion that a wooden framed canvas plane will somehow damage a 33-ton tank with a kamikaze attack, especially when I'm sitting in the back. So don't be that guy. Fly at a safe altitude and be considerate of the men trying to help you out by playing as your gunners. Number 7. Skipping the revive. It's a topic as old as the game itself, and despite all of the best efforts of the developers to try to get players to be more patient, there is still an unbelievable number of people that will skip the revive even when they are perfectly in cover and a medic has marked them and is running up risking his life to bring them back. Skipping during the initial phase of being downed doesn't even let you re-enter the game any quicker, it costs your team a ticket, lowers your KD, and worst case scenario, a medic might get injured or killed for nothing while trying to make his way over to you. Don't be that guy, okay? Number 6. Not playing your class. Vehicles. One of the most consistent reasons for losing a match nowadays seems to be that an enemy tank is pinning down half the team while your own armor is busy camping at the back somewhere trying to snipe that elusive medic that's still sitting on a hill 300 meters away. Or maybe your team has been blessed with the presence of John Rambo himself, who will use his near-invincible tank to storm right into the middle of the enemy team, only to die within 9.4 seconds along with all the poor souls who made the mistake of spawning on him. Don't be either of those guys. Support your infantry, especially against enemy vehicles, but also play smart enough to keep your tank alive and in the fight. Number 5. Not playing your class. Infantry. Once again in this category, there are a whole host of noobish and obnoxious behaviours that can still be observed in Battlefield 1 today, and that are enough to cause a minor cardiac event in even the calmest of players. First to come to mind here are of course those very special medics who are too busy taking pot shots at the enemy to drop a health pack or to notice your lifeless and increasingly cold body lying a mere 2 meters away. Worse still are those support players whose iron will allows them to ignore your repeated calls for ammo and who won't even drop any when you stand right in front of them, blocking their shots while wailing on them with your melee weapon. But the problems of not playing one's class don't end there. Scouts that aren't using spotting flares and assault players that are too busy farming Hellregal and Automatico kills to deal with the enemy vehicles are just as bad. Don't be one of those guys. Heal, rearm, spot, and burst those tanks like there's no tomorrow. Your team will thank you for it. Number 4. The worst kind of support player. Beyond the behaviours just mentioned in the last segment, there is one type of support player so infuriating that he deserves his very own category. Players that will equip a combination of the crossbow launcher, mortar or limpet charge and don't even have the ability to drop ammo, even if they wanted to, are so far off course when it comes to playing your class that the only good place for them is on the other team, or better still on another server. Please switch now. Number 3. Not clearing mines. This ranks quite high up there for me in terms of the noob behaviours that really send me from calm to why am I even playing this game in a very short time. There's nothing worse than rushing forward in my tank to support 2 squads of infantry who just ran down this very road only to suddenly detonate because all 10 of those players who recently joined the community ran past a batch of mines and nobody thought that clearing them might be a good idea. Sure, clearing a few mines will only get you 50 to 75 points, about as much as finishing off a half-health enemy, but the value of making the map safer for your team's armoured vehicles is far greater than this. Even if you're playing as infantry, having the support of a friendly tank when assaulting an enemy position or defending your own position can make all the difference, so doing something as simple as clearing a couple of mines is not only going to benefit your tanker buddy or your team, but ultimately also you. Don't be one of those 10 guys. Clear mines so that you can get the tank support that you need and deserve. Number 2. Not spotting. Spotting is just one of those no-brainers and I just can't figure out why so many people don't do it. It's not as if hitting the spot button costs you anything. Certainly on PC, hitting Q can happen completely in parallel to taking aim and shooting, so there's no excuse not to do it. If the worst happens and you lose the firefight, at least you manage to alert your team to the presence and location of the enemy. This is especially important when dealing with land vehicles, and even spotting an enemy plane can be invaluable to the pilots and AA players on your team. And as if supporting your team in an easy and yet significant way wasn't enough, spotting consistently can get you a considerable amount of spot assist points. There is really no reason why you shouldn't be spotting every enemy you see, so don't be that guy who dies on the other side of the cap point but who didn't spot a single enemy and then I'm left there alone not knowing what to expect. Or don't be that guy who's sitting about on a cap point out of combat but who can't spare a moment to look up and spot that fighter plane that's been chasing me for the last 5 minutes. It would really be helpful to have him on my radar even if it's just for a few seconds. So whatever class you're playing, whatever situation you're in, just hit that spot button. And finally, we're at number 1. This is a pet peeve of mine. It really bothers me, and not because it's inherently a really bad behavior, but because so many players still do this. It affects the medic class maybe to a small degree, but mostly it affects the support class. My number 1 noob behavior, which I still see far too many people do, is number 1, bringing large ammo or health crates. There I am playing my class as scout, throwing out spotting flares as if they're going out of fashion, or I've just shot all of my rocket gun ammo at that tank that was blocking the entire team. I need ammo and hallelujah, that support player is actually coming over to help me rearm. And then he drops that box. That godforsaken box, and now I have to sit around here for the next minute waiting to fill up my ammo. And then, 12 seconds later, the guy runs out into the open and he slaps that box down again just before getting shot. It hasn't even filled up a single flare yet and the damn thing is now gone. So now, I have to run out into the open to try and get the ammo crate and oh, okay, I'm dead. But Rogue, the big ammo box, can rearm several people at a time, I hear you say. Yes, in theory, but in my personal experience, whenever I use the ammo crate, 90% of the time there's only one person using it, and they don't usually have the patience to sit there for more than 3 seconds, even if I put it in a relatively safe location. Most of the time, people are advancing towards the enemy, and with these small packs you can instantly rearm up to 2 people at once without stopping. Nobody wants to stop for large ammo packs, which makes them completely ineffective. But Rogue, large ammo packs can refill your grenades, and how can I spam out grenades if I only bring small packs? Lord give me strength. First of all, if you are bringing large ammo packs because it helps create more grenade spam, Alt F4 and uninstall, please, for all our sakes. Secondly, small packs also refill your grenades. Yes, it's true, the one supposed advantage that the large packs have over the small ones isn't even a real advantage. When you throw a grenade, the refill timer starts running down in the background, and once it's done, even a small pack will give you a grenade. Sure, camping next to a crate will cut that grenade refill time down to 1/3, but here's the real trick, pouches can do that too. As long as you are full on ammo, you will not pick up the small pack, and as long as you don't pick it up, it will basically act like a large pack and you can get your grenade anyway. The bottom line is that the crates are massively inconvenient and slow to use for your team members, and there is no real advantage in terms of grenade refill. And last but not least, like I've already mentioned in several other segments in this video, helping your team members in a more effective way is only one aspect to this. I guarantee you that you will get a significantly higher score with the ammo pouches compared to bringing the crates. You can throw a single pouch at a friendly assault or scout player and instantly make up to 120 points, and you can do this even while the guy is charging straight to his own death. I've been playing as the cavalry class a lot recently, and in many games I will get the highest number of resupplies on the team even though the cavalry only get a single ammo pouch rather than 2. It's just that much more effective than the crates. So for the love of everything that is holy, please stop being one of those guys. Just go ahead and bring the effective ammo and health packs. For your personal score, for your team, for victory. And there we have it, my top 10 list of noob mistakes that 1 year after release far too many people are still making. Did I forget anything? What teammate behavior annoys you the most? You know the drill, let me know in the comments section below. And with that, as always guys, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next episode.